We now return to Let's Play Cleopatra.
It has been many long and glorious years since our Pharaoh, the most revered Ramses II, accepted the crook and flail from his father, Seti I. With the blessings of Ra, he will continue to reign for many more still. Nevertheless, it is time to begin to cut into the bowels of the earth and prepare the eternal resting place for our vaunted leader. He has supplied your tomb architect with a plan for the largest tomb yet constructed, surpassing even that of his sire. It is now up to you to ensure that this royal request is brought to successful completion. But be forewarned, there is an alarming degree of unrest among some independent-minded workers and slaves, both locally and in Lower Egypt. They follow a man that was once raised in the court of our Pharaoh, and have threatened to call their god for divine interference. They hope that, with such deific help, they can have their way. Even now, priests and holy men are debating the validity of these threats. While we patiently await their opinions, it might be prudent to be prepared for the unexpected.
Infantry and archers. Okay. Well, I think we can just go ahead and safely get that started. We're back in a very familiar place. So, knowing that, there are a few things. Oh boy, these guys are a little bit closer than normal. A few things we need to set up before we even begin playing, I'm afraid. I think that'll lock them in there. Uh-oh, that says breeding grounds. It seems to have done it. We can safely leave those guys for a minute because these ones are roaming loose down here, and there are many of them down here. What the shit? We're probably going to have to wait for them to be out of there. I don't know. These guys might be blocked in here if I do that. Those ones will have to wander. And then we gotta go back up in here, and we should just be able to go across this way. Pharaonic heads as the roadblocks. So let's look at our monuments. That's gonna have to go here. So we'll go ahead and just... Can I I cannot. I was hoping I could just drag it out, but... Okay, that should be blocking off the scorpions, except for these ones, of course. I will have to keep an eye on that. And the roadway is, of course, over here. Now, we do have access to these guys, which need employees, so that will be the first objective, of course, as always. Put that there. Put a well here. And we'll begin with some of our... Now, wait a minute. I don't have access to fish. I also don't have access to our henna. Bizarrely, once again, it takes something out of the map where previously I was able to do something. Whatever. So we don't need... We will need docks. I could have multiple docks. Maybe. No. It looks like I'll only be able to... I mean, I could put them all over the place, actually, if I truly wanted to. So I don't need to worry too much about that. What's nice, I guess, about this is just that I have the options of having many docks, obviously, for... exportation. That's something we're going to have to deal with almost immediately. So I'm going to take a fort of archers. We're just going to put them inside here. It did not imply that we would necessarily need to use them for defense. I think we'll take that. Oops. And a fort of archers. So we'll get those guys coming in. Okay, so 3,000 people. That's going to be quite a lot, and I think the game wants me to just put that that marker here. So we'll go ahead and do. such a thing. So it looks like I'll be able to build a housing block there, and probably put my housing block back in here. Let's see, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, and in fact 8, 2. And then I can put a road here. Prevents me from road blocking this, and then they wander all over the place though, so that is not what we will be doing there. We will just be doing 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, and road right there. So it leaves me 1, 2 here. So I could actually put a house there. That actually works out. That actually works out. So we'll do something like that, and then if I actually do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put a road here, that will not really let me do anything this way, but well, okay. So two things: 3,000 population, and we need 6 stately manors, which are the 3x3s. I think that I am going to limit what I build with that, and that will enable me to keep the maximum level of the 2x houses. So I think it's just before luxury goods we'll be able to switch over. So we'll do one big worker thing here, and then we'll do another big worker thing here, and then maybe out here is where I will have this lined up with some houses. Of course, I can always actually maybe just do it over here instead. We have to consider beautification, of course, so that's the thing. Let's go ahead and put down the monument whilst I'm thinking of that. And we will run a rather large... There we go. A rather large money-making operation first. That's obviously going to be the easiest. So what do we have here? We've got clay, which will feed pottery. We have access to barley, so we can access the brewery. And we're going to have to make a ton of stuff here because obviously we will need to be feeding people. I may not even need to really go that far. The ones that the housing blocks that I had prior to this were enough to get me to 2,200 people, and that was without even pottery. So I may not need to actually go too high, and I'm sorry if there's a lot of creaking going on. I'm trying to adjust my chair. I've got to do something about this chair. We got a paint maker. I don't have paints, so I'm going to have to get henna, which will be much cheaper, and oil, of course, in order to begin lighting all of that. We're going to wait. We're going to hold off on that and get our industries up and running. I am very actually disappointed that there's no fishing this time around. That would help out a little bit. Plus, we're given a forced ditch there, which we can't bridge for some reason. I mean, I understand that it wouldn't be stable out here in the fields, but it's just like, I mean, I'm willing to put it back in there and whatever. So, anticipating that I double dock, because I could pull that one back and then put another one here. That would just give me a road there, and I would not have access. So I basically have a house here, so this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to do what I did previously and put houses up here, and then have some wanderers go that way. So yeah, these are going to basically feed now into their respective blocks, is the way this looks. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started with that. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, and a road here. And we will just start getting some people to wander into now. Let's actually move this. Okay. Why don't we just go ahead and get started with a big one? Or will I need that? Because I could do one bandstand here and be kind of alright. Although, if I wanted to use the road, now that'd be a sneaky thing, is just using the road there, but let's actually just do a juggler's booth here, because then I could use the road into this, roadblock it. Oops. And then we can build, we're going to have to build multiples of the buildings anyway. Is that actually going to get rid of that, or... I know I've got it on the slow speed, but come on. Okay. Just made me nervous there. Okay, so we got houses there. Back to this. We need to make sure we've got houses here. I will probably want to dock here. I mean, this will be easiest, and I guess we'll just go ahead and drag into there, or should we not? I need to find my fields. Grain fields, and no cattle this time, so it doesn't do me a whole lot of good there. I mean, okay, so I guess so I do it along the bottom. We're going to have that weird, jaggy... It's just not going to really work nicely kind of thing. But, because this is where this is going to have to come in. Surprisingly, I could put another one there. So if I put... Okay, let me just put down the fields first so we can get a good idea here. Because maybe I can wind an irrigation ditch in there somehow. This actually gives me quite a lot of space. So I might actually have options here if I go 1, 2, 3. But I don't... Ooh, it would. It would. Okay. Well, let's... What are you doing, microphone? Come on. Can go away. Okay. Ah, I hate that you can't build while you're paused. City building requires planning, and you need time to plan. Alright, so we're going to kind of end up with, actually, even worse. Now I can't even build things and stuff here because this is going to be kind of in the way. We will need a work camp, and we're going to need access to a few different types. Well, okay, so I could still put housing here. So let's not stress over that. And then if I needed a secondary dock, I would actually be able to fit that in here too. Okay. So let's do fire post, architect post. Hope that this guy doesn't wander off down this way needlessly, because that would just be kind of silly. Not able to get it in there yet that way, but we still have options. We still have options, because if I do this, then that hits here, and then that would hit right up against that road. So in order to get an irrigation ditch wound up there, I would need to pull it this way. This is a mess. This is a damn mess. This isn't going to do exactly what I want it to do at all. I would really be better off going this way, but then you're not going to get... Well, I mean, okay. Let's just move on and ignore that for a moment. I'll go ahead and take... So if it's there, we could probably do something like that with a well here and a work camp here. And that will handle that for a bit. And then where else are we at? Well, let's put in a booth. Get that started. And then, of course, we need to... Why are you being like that, game? I don't like it. Okay, we got a few other things here immediately that we need to... Well, obviously the usual... fire and everything. Is that going to have him go off into the fields? I think it will. Yeah, that's really annoying. I think that's going to do it that way too. I think both of these are going to have that problem. But I'm going to put it down anyway just to test. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and get this in here to begin with, and we will find out. Because I think in the clockwise way this works, it will dump it in there. Do I still have access to... Okay, so I could put it here, actually, and then jump it over. Why don't we just do that preemptively? and then we can put like a shrine or two here in Spac. In fact, speaking of, we need Ra, which he should be fine because we've got the actual temple. We need an Osiris and a Bast. Bast will be good getting people in, as I always say, every episode. We also need to consider getting in. Is anybody coming in? Oh, they're all coming in this way. Fuck me. completely wrong side, of course. Well, in that case, before I go too far, let's pause this for a moment. How much space do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I know that I could just actually take this and drag it. And then divide that, so... But I want to, I need to visualize this, and especially if it's not going to give me the graphic while I'm laying this out now. That really annoys me. So if I did, say, here, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2. Yeah. So that will be sufficient. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, road. And that allows me to pull a road out this way, and we may as well put it this way, I guess. It doesn't really matter, but if I end up making some kind of thing in here, it'll give them a faster route to here rather than having to come through the whole city. They'll have to travel spaces anyway, but unfortunately, it doesn't line up with that, which sucks just a little. Should we go ahead and... Okay, here's where I can maybe get a bandstand in. Does it have to be a pavilion, though? Maybe to get some of the higher... I think maybe to get some of the higher marks it will have to be. May as well just preemptively do it. We'll roadblock that. Roadblock that. This will give me a space to bring in. Oh, right, we also need to roadblock that. So we'll go ahead and drag that. Okay, that's going to throw me off now. Having that where I can't actually see what's going on. Okay, so we'll get some people in here, dump them in. I need to be thinking of where I'm going to put palaces and the like. I think we'll just put the granaries back up here, although really it would be better to put them down here, seeing as how they are, they'd be more in line, but I think we'll just kind of, well, there's actually space. There's actually an extra space now. I don't know, to be even. But then if I build another, yeah, let's put it up here, because if I build another housing unit up here, rather than drag it all the way out here, I feel this would be a little bit better. Then we can have access up here, and then I can make a big loop. So we won't do that just yet because we don't need to. What else am I looking at right now? We need you guys. Well, I mean, there's this, and then there's this. Let's just use this space. Firehouse, and then that gives me not really anything useful there because I am taking up this spot now, so actually let's maybe not do that. How do I want to do that? I guess I can firehouse it down here. I mean, that's still usable space too. Either way, I'm going to have to get through this at some point with weird... Well, no, because I'll need a dentist, I'll need an apothecary. God, there's all sorts of wonky buildings. I'm actually glad that later on they decided to fix a lot of this non-uniformity. So I will put some garden back here just to remind myself that there's a thing I want. And where are we at? So we're going to need that, right. I need to give these guys road access. So this is going to have to go this way, like it or not. Not necessarily, because if I wanted it to jank off, but like I said, I can't get it. I won't be able to get this satisfactorily Oops. Just making a mess all over the place. With the irrigation ditch that I would like. I did not consider the fact that I could use a water lift. That is an option. I think I will not be using it. So how many... Let's look at how many farms I can get in here. There would be enough room for a break in there. Okay, we'll do it that way then. So 1, 2, 3, right here is where the break will be. We're not going to get a whole lot of extra farmage in there anyhow. So we will do something like so. And now we've got this incredibly awkward thing back here. Well, now this was a pretty poor design on my part actually, because now this is completely unusable space. So mayhap I will not do that. Since it is connected here, this is unnecessary. And really it behooves me more to have it come out over here where it will have access to the granary. So we don't maybe actually... Would you just give me a minute? Maybe actually kind of do this. 1, 2, 3. So then I can just kind of pull it up here. And then this gives me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 with a road and a ditch. What is going on here? Well, I guess all these extra roads and such are really causing me the problem here. But we'll put it here because this now is under the loop there, meaning that I can now use that space. Not super well, but it's usable. In fact, let's block that off there. And these guys are going. These guys are going too far. Roadblock. Just for now, we need to get another one of you. And an architect post back up in here. I feel like it's better to just leave this open a little bit, because if I did that... Well, okay, so I already determined I can't double dip here. So that does me no good, really. Just trying to think if maybe I could wind a road one way or another. Let's go ahead and just put the architect post here, I guess. And then, if need be, I can have a road go this way. In fact, I think I will, just because I can put a storeyard there or something. Anyway, you should have your people now. We got people living here. I mean, this is literally a thing. We've already got people going out. So we need to get started with this. I realize we still need more people. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right there. And this is not the best way to do this. Instead, let's actually bring that road in. And then if I need the extra... I mean, it hurts my loop, so let's actually take that off, and then it's still connected, so now we can work on a loop there. It's a little bit better of an idea, I feel. We will take a roadblock. How about we put the roadblock... Okay, roadblock there. Put the firehouse. And can the architect post get here? I don't think it can, right? No, because it has no access to road. So we'll put it on this side, which is wasteful. We really could put it somewhere else. Oh, well, right in between, because this is going to be a 4x. So we'll put it right there. And we'll put a roadblock here, and then we'll have another granary right there. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Eventually I'll block whatever's going off here. Let's just do it right now, actually. So we just maintain a loop, just so we have some food building up in there. Right, so as people eventually get in here, and maybe I just want to go ahead and start laying down. No, because then I'm just going to have to turn around and knock them out. So let's not. Let's do a town palace. Town palace just fits right there. Kind of awkward, but at the same time, it also makes sense. Seeing as how it would be right near the festival square, and it would be overseeing all the food supplies and whatnot. Are we suffering here? I feel yes, because these guys are looking for people, and they have none. Really, this just seems like a dumb design. Because why would you do this? You know, it's something. This is all going to come collapsing, and like unless you're thinking about it, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. All this stuff would collapse. That's really actually, well, whatever. I'm sure it's intentional. Should we do gardens back here? Sure. That made that garden change. I don't know if you just saw that. That's interesting. So we do have people slowly coming out here. This one is still empty. There's a reason we're not here. Probably we just don't have the people, I imagine. Yeah, we're still... So let's... food production, obviously, is always priority 1. Health and safety, priority 2. Or should I do infrastructure? Infrastructure should probably be 2. And then, what, industry commerce for 4? I think we can let it slide for a minute. Massive amounts of money going out the door. Because, of course... we also, right, we're going to have to make some of this housing because they need to be able to get supply of workers. And this is slowly, I think we're stable. So let's go ahead and bump up the speed a little bit. Put in the final farms. Did I give myself, I did not. That is not going to work. Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to work. We could still finagle this. I can get that field down here, because I still would have a little bit of room. We'll wait until after this. I think it's too late to do much harvesting. This ends in... Well, it's only 20% done. It yields in, well, July. Next floods are in July. Gods, apathetic. So we'll probably need to put down a temple or 2 just to kind of balance the humors a little bit. And I think we'll be okay. Put down a few more shrines and maybe an extra temple or 2. Okay. So we need... probably not many people. In fact, we can go ahead and start putting down the taxes because we're just started, and wouldn't you know it, first thing we need to do is tax everybody. Oh, speaking of small statues. Ooh, okay. Perfect. I think we got him. Ah, you bastard. You bastard. Gotcha. This is a mess. Okay. So the city is now secure from the Scorpion Menace. This one did, in fact, get out, but we got everybody else. This one is contained, and the pathway is fair and free. So let's actually bring out a road here. Okay. Alright, we're all hooked up. I could probably bring that in, actually. It just looks weird. I kind of like having it fully go out there, but that is 2 more squares of walking that we could speed up the process a little bit as it digs in. But anyway, so we got the people and basic infrastructure, and in fact we have our first bit of food supply. We do not have straw. Let's look real quick before we end the episode at who we can trade with. Why not blow all of our money? Selling oil, we will need that, and they will buy beer. That sounds like a good one to me. They also sell oil, and they will buy lamps. So I could use this as an end game trade partner. They will also sell wood. I don't know that we need them right away. And they will sell linen, which I believe we'll need. So we'll think about them as a secondary trade partner. These guys buy paint and oil, so we can keep those industries up and running, as I say, near the end game here, and that might help out. They sell chariots. I don't know that we need to do that yet. In fact, I'm thinking maybe we can just keep our 2 veteran units. I'm hoping that's all we need. I don't think that we're getting invaded. I hope we're not getting invaded, but they will buy beer. They'll buy beer and they'll buy grain, but they won't buy the straw. They'll sell oil and they will sell copper. Saul must be untradeable. They'll buy pottery. They'll buy linen. They'll sell luxury goods. Karga sells henna. We definitely need them. They'll buy grain. They'll buy bricks. We do have a brick maker. I'm convinced. And more importantly, the Dakla Oasis will buy straw. Good. Oh man, I probably could have just done with them and saved myself the expense of these guys, because there's no way in hell we'll sell this many bricks. But maybe. Yeah, I mean these guys are the number one. If there was only one trade partner, these guys would be it, because they sell extra food, they'll sell the henna, and they'll buy everything we don't need. So we can begin that. We have no working dock, I'm aware. We'll need to remedy that. With, can I, if I bring that over, that helps me out just a little bit. Okay. I don't know why I've got these guys over here. In fact, there's really no reason for me to do this. They only need the employees to ferry goods, I believe, and we'll be producing no goods over here. So, in fact, this whole thing is unnecessary. I don't think that's going to collapse. And even if it does, people don't come in this way. You know what? Let's go ahead and just save ourselves some grief there. We'll just keep the people there because we'll just need the people. But if we're going to do that, then we need the extra... Okay. You've convinced me. Because otherwise those houses... Or do they? Now that I think about it, maybe this level of housing does not in fact collapse. How the hell did you devolve? You are base level housing. The dock is having a detrimental effect on it. And that's kicking people out? Too many. Because it's undesirable. That boggles my damn mind. Okay, anyway, I think we got some people here now. Not enough. Definitely not enough. We definitely need a lot more, but we got a string of people still coming in, so we won't get too premature about that. So next step, now that we've got some of this, is obviously the immediate exportation of straw, because let's just do it. We don't need it ourselves. Well, we will if we're going to do brick, but we're not doing brick right now, so let's just do that. We will also go ahead and do... I may as well do a storeyard now, right? Because we'll start needing some items. So this is going to be a weird thing here. I'll go ahead and put that here. I really, though, shouldn't put it there because now it's so far to the dock. I mean, once I put a dock here, that'll be one thing, but using this as my storage and then trade to... Okay, maybe this was a dumb idea. Maybe I should undo that and get my money back real quick. Especially since these guys can't go anywhere. Okay, well, anyway, we'll think about it. First thing first is probably going to be pottery, seeing as how easy that is to make. For the brick maker, it's also going to require clay pits, so we're going to do a lot of clay. So maybe this will end up being my industrial area, although this might be a better choice. Now that I've just wiped this out, of course, it might have been a better choice just to make brickwork and pottery over here, because, I mean, then I could just have my docks right here. All that industry is literally right there. And then what little I have to bring over here, because I do think I can get away with making my houses over here, my wealthy houses that I require for the ultimate goal of the mission. I could just do a line, actually, like an L shape, because I've been doing a lot of round stuff. I don't know. It just seems long-term like that would be a better choice because I would be selling it immediately. So I guess we'd be putting that in, but this one's been rambling on long enough, so I'm going to end this one here, and I will see you next time.